Welcome to Slow Home Studio. Too many people live in badly designed houses, and we want to change that.
January is kitchen month. We're in week 2, which means it's our favorite common pitfall time. We're going to look at our 5 examples of the things that drive us crazy about bad kitchens.
Yeah, we're going to teach you how to design a kitchen by showing you some of the worst examples of kitchen design that we see all over the place, and we're going to start with
a big bang.
One of the all-time worst.
That's right. Here we have the real problem, the gourmet kitchen, the supersized nightmare.
Chef's dream.
That's right. It's just, yeah, it's a chef's nightmare, because what we've got is an archipelago of islands. We've got not just one, not just 2, but then we have a third in the middle of the other islands, as well as there's just too much counter space, too much surface space, and really it's not efficient. If you think about a commercial kitchen, those are small spaces because you want to minimize the amount of steps that you have between the various appliances carrying hot things, all of that sort of stuff. You want to minimize that and then have other areas for other kinds of prep work. This is just a bad kitchen.
It's an unfunctional nightmare. Well, this one's not as big, but there's some major design issues with this. First of all, we always talk about the appliance triangle. It is the relationship between your refrigerator, your cooktop, and your sink. And it has to be efficient and compact. And in this case, unfortunately, they're a little bit far apart, and we've got one major problem, which is the kitchen designer has placed the island interrupting one of the legs of the appliance triangle. So that's going to mean that you're always going to have to go around it. It's going to be really awkward and not very functional to work in.
And it's not just that. The problem with this island is also that I'm going to say that it's oriented in the wrong way. Look at how when you're in this major room, it's probably the dining room, but it could also be a living room. It could be whatever if it was extended a bit. Notice how the view lines go right down the alley of the kitchen into the work surface. What you want to do if you're orienting this kitchen island is to orient it this way. And what that might mean, if you don't have quite enough room, is that you need to have it as a peninsula. But doing that then gives you some protection in that work area, and it properly, the kitchen, we're going to say, properly faces this main living space.
That's a very important point. Well, here's one of my major issues that I have with kitchen design, and this is one of those famous corner pantries. This is a terrible idea. It's actually the reason why this is done is because it's cheap to build. It gives you the illusion of storage, but it screws up the kitchen in a lot of ways. First of all, we don't have very much storage. You can basically stand in this, so you're spending all this effort to basically have a place to stand in and store some brooms. The fridge is jammed up against the side of it. Plus, then, this impacts the size and shape of the island. It has to be chamfered on this end in order to get the door swing. The door swing also comes into our circulation zone in the kitchen.
And it pushes the island out of the way. So let's just look at the alternative to that. If we just took and extended that kitchen counter there, extended it there. Yes, you do have this corner, which you can then fix with a magic corner in the lower and an appliance garage above. But now you've got extra counter space that you didn't have before. You're actually able to now, because you don't have a door swing, able to move that island into a better relationship with the rest of the kitchen, and it gets a little bit longer. Win, win,
with
win.
more storage.
That's right.
Yeah. So here's one of my favorite examples of kitchen design that's gone off the rails. This is the appliance triangle, of course, between our 3 primary appliances. The difficulty with this, first of all, these counters are too far apart. There's too many steps between them. You should minimize that to about 36 to 48 inches. But we've got 2 major rooms on either side, and our circulation path is right through the appliance triangle. So if you're scrambling eggs in the kitchen, boiling water, making pasta, there's a good chance if you've got kids running around, they're going to be running right behind you, and it's awkward and not very good.
And it's so easy to fix. All you need to do is actually just move that off the wall like that. It again put your sink in there. It gives you a much more efficient triangle, and it gives you a circulation zone, which you can also use to sit.
Look at that. You've magically fixed it. That's why you're the architect that you are. So we hope that you enjoyed this episode. On the next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the proper way to detail a kitchen.
See you then.
If you're interested in learning more about the principles of slow home design, you can pick up a copy of our book entitled What's Wrong with This House? It's a practical guide to finding a well-designed and sustainable home. It's available for sale on the Slow Home Studio website. It's also available for sale at Amazon.com in both paperback and the Kindle format.